Hey folks, Lucian the trainer here. I am a full-time personal trainer, I have a full-time local practice, and have over 15 years of experience training, over 12 years in martial arts like jiu-jitsu. And today we have a nice lower body flow. I'm focusing on isometrics in this one, so it's kind of a slower movements, getting down into positions, holding positions for a little bit. A little bit nice of a mix-up, between movement and static positions. So this is great for you guys to do whenever, wherever. Nice kind of relaxed, not a high intensity one. I filmed out in this amazing location next to the Kinneret, the lake up in northern Israel. I live in Israel, and we filmed up by the Kinneret. So beautiful location. I did a voiceover because the wind was just way too strong, so I wasn't able to use my mics or anything like that. So voiceover, walking you guys through the positions as we're doing it. Okay, enjoy, have a great time. See you guys on the other side. Hey folks, all right, getting right into it today. We are starting off with isometric squats. We're going to slowly lower our way down into a deep squat position, and we're going to hang out here. We're going to be here for about a minute, okay? So you can get down into position and get comfortable. As you can see, I'm kind of playing around with little things, and I'm going to continue to do that through the video. It's one of the themes of today's video, is getting down into some of these positions and then making minor tweaks while you're down there. So playing around, you can see I'm shifting my weight back and forth. I'm playing with where my weight is sitting in my feet at the moment. Driving my knees out, trying to distribute the load evenly through my legs, not put it too much into my knees. Coming up a little bit higher here, and we're coming out of that first squat. Take a second, shake it out. It's a long minute. And we're going back down for another about 40 seconds. Coming down here, same thing, playing around. Experimenting. Today I'm playing around with my hips, and I'm driving them back, one hip back, the other hip back. That's going to be a theme of today's practice, is experimenting in these hold positions and just moving in a way that feels good for your body in some of these positions. So finding, what feels good for you and just moving it around and trying to incorporate what's good for you. So we're coming up out of that squat, taking a second, and we're going to drop back down for one more. Okay, we got one more hold position here. We're going to be here for about 20 seconds. And then we are going to go into 10 squats. Back and forth. So we're going to just get a little bit more action here, hanging out in the deep squat. Very good. Slowly working our way up. Shake it out. And we're going to move into 10 nice and controlled squats. Same thing here. I'm looking to make sure that my fundamentals are good. I'm using my whole system, my quads, hamstrings, adductors, my groin. Very good. And now we are transitioning into a isometric lunge hold. So we're gonna go into a lunge position. You can start out with your right foot forward. And we're gonna hang out here. This is not a super deep lunge, okay? So this is something of like a higher lunge position, okay? You can see that my right leg is not in a perfect parallel with the ground, okay? And the reason that I'm doing that is because I want to work on my knee a little bit more. My knees, my joints, that's kind of the point of the isometrics, is to get some work in with the knees and the joints to help strengthen the tendons in there. So that's the reason why I'm staying a little bit higher. If I go lower, then it's going to fatigue my muscles in the quads, and it's going to make it harder to hold that position. So what I'm really looking for is more work in on the joints and on the tendons than anything else. That's why I'm staying a little bit higher. That way it's not as intense on my quads. You can see I'm going through a little bit of hip rotation, mobility, trying to move things around, keep it loose, play around with things. Okay, and we are going to switch. Right foot's coming back, left foot is forward. And same thing. We're not super deep down, okay? We're gonna stay in a pretty high position, kind of like a 45-degree angle with that lead leg. And again, feel free to make any adjustments needed here. I'll hold this for a couple more seconds. Almost there. About 10 more seconds. And then we are going to transition to a little bit more of dynamic movements, trying to bridge the gap between some of these static holds and the dynamic movements. So now we are going to transition to bouncing on the toes. Okay, so we're coming out of this lunge position. Very good, and we're gonna start bouncing on the toes. I'm trying to be springy in my toes. Okay, so my heels are not really touching the ground. It's kind of like I'm jumping rope without a rope. So I'm just trying to skip rope and stay on my toes, stay bouncy and springy in my calves and in my knees. Move around, feel good. And now we're dropping down into squat. So this is kind of like a deceleration squat. So what I'm working on here is bouncing around on my toes and then boom, dropping down into a squat and trying to catch myself here. And this is again for the joints, for my knees. I want to be able to decelerate, meaning I want to slow weight down. So I'm staying bouncy on my toes and then boom, I'm going to drop down and catch my body weight in a squat, come back out of it, bouncing, 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 continuing to bounce on the toes, dropping down into the squats, holding, coming back up, bouncing around. and we're coming up. We got about a minute of hip rotations coming up, okay? What we're looking for with these hip rotations is I'm looking to pivot on my toes, okay? And this is really I'm trying to get my glutes involved, like I just motioned there. I'm trying to squeeze my glutes. So I'm trying to pivot, turn, let my heel come up off the ground, pivot on the ball of my foot, drive through my ball of the foot, drive through my toes, and engage through my leg and up into my hip. Okay, this is kind of a real like athletic move, and you can see now I'm kind of transitioning into like almost it looks like a disc throw or something like that, or if I'm throwing a punch, or if I'm going to throw a ball. This is how we build up kinetic force. Okay, this is where we get kinetic force from. It comes through the ground all the way up in through our hips, and then is generally leaving through the hands, or maybe we might be delivering it in a different capacity, but we're just playing around with this back and forth. Okay, back to bouncing here. And now we're going to do bigger jumps. So we're going to do slightly bigger. Just stay bouncing here. Small bounces on the toes here. Now we're going into the bigger jumps. Bigger jumps. I'm looking to get a little bit more air out of it, but still stay springy, still land softly through my toes. This time I'm letting my knees come down a little more. I'm letting my heels come down a little more. I'm staying in control here, but I'm looking to get a lot of action through my knees. That's what I'm kind of looking for in this position. I want to be jumping. I want to be using my quads. I want to use everything, but I'm really thinking about knee health. This is kind of the theme of this video, is using the knees in a good way. Okay, good. Back to small jumps here. Bouncing around, keeping it light, keeping it loose, enjoying the views, even if you're just in your living room. You can enjoy these views vicariously through this video. We are going to back into squat holds now. Okay, and what I'm working on now in this time is going to be hanging out in that squat position and then doing other adjustments while I'm down there. So right now I'm doing this spinal mobility. So I'm kind of arching my spine, almost like cat-cow, basically cat-cow in a squat isometric. So I'm hanging out down there, doing a little bit of hip stuff, knees in and out, but I'm really kind of working through that spinal mobility, that cat-cow-like position. For those who are unfamiliar with cat-cow, it just means that I'm kind of arching my spine in and out in both directions. So coming back up, dropping back down, give the legs a little bit of a rest. Now we're just hanging out in another deep squat. Hanging out in a deep squat. Coming back up. And coming down. One more here. One more hold before we move on to our final element. Very good. We're moving on to chair pose, yoga position, chair pose. For you, those of you who are familiar, if you're not familiar, we're putting our feet close together and we're dropping down, and here's where that spinal mobility is going to come into play. I am reaching up straight overhead and I'm looking to really extend my spine. I'm looking to get my thoracic spine, my upper back really engaged, trying to stick my chest out nice and big. Okay, we're doing this for reps, but I'm coming down and I'm holding it for a couple seconds down at the bottom. So that was rep 1. This is rep 2. We're going to do 5 of these total. Coming down to the bottom position, hanging out, coming up. That's 2. 3 more. Chair pose, dropping down, holding at the bottom, playing around with the position, working into it. Very good. That's 3. We got 2 more. Last one. Reach into the well. Pull out your best rep yet. And that's a wrap. Thank you so much, folks. I appreciate you. Have a great time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a beautiful day.